gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here, because on the last episode, we took AEBL stainless steel, 304 stainless steel. We managed to weld them together into one billet, and today, the goal is, hopefully, in time for Thanksgiving, to start turning these into a stainless steel Damascus carving fork and knife. Right, so step number one is we know that we don't have the requisite materials to etch this well. We ended up using steel blue to get some sort of pattern at the end of the last episode. Apparently muriatic acid is the acid to use. I have no idea where to get acid. Muriatic acid. Oh, muriatic acid at Lowe's. Shop a large variety of quality play sets and recreation at Lowe's. Okay, that does not make any sense. You can literally just buy a gallon of muriatic acid. The helpful place has muriatic acid. Everywhere's got acid. So that makes me very happy to hear. We can basically go anywhere to get muriatic acid, even the kids section at Lowe's. Anyway, we're gonna try and grind through these cracks while the forge heats up before we start continuing to forge these things down. I'm an idiot! Completely stupid! I made a terrible mistake! Look at this steel! Now, looking at it, you might think I'm making a terrible mistake because it looks completely cracked and terrible. That's exactly what I thought my mistake was, but it was not my mistake. I rused myself in thinking that was the problem. The problem instead was that I wasn't smart enough to realize that what's actually happening is one of the stainless steels is magnetic, and when I dip it in the water, is picking up steel particles from inside this water, capturing said steel particles on the surface of the material. Steel particles are getting inside the grinding lines. It's not cracks. It's one of the steels being magnetic, picking up steel shavings, and making it look like cracks. Way to waste some time, Alec. Way to waste some time. Right. This is gonna go into the forge. I welded it on the wrong end. Oh wow, that's pretty strong. Alrighty, so what you've seen me do since the last time I talked is I went ahead and finished up the steel that's gonna be our carving knife.
Ooh, this is not very much steel.
No, it's not a lot of steel, but cut it in half, sandwich some AEBL steel in between the Damascus, since this is 304 and AEBL. AEBL is the only hardenable one of the stainless steels that's in here. If you sandwich it inside, you might have enough material.
Might is a good word there.
Meanwhile, this fork is going quite well. I've split it, I've filed it, I got all the way up inside of the crotch area on the fork. It's all looking good. So this is gonna go back in the fire for some more hand hammering, and Will is gonna get cracking on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and surface grind off one of these sides, cut it down the center, and then sandwich that AEBL in there. The reason that we only need to do one of the sides is because the outside can stay oxidized, and I don't wanna lose any material from that side.
It was forging beautifully. We had such great hope, and it's cracked. Ah! Out of that. See if we can grind it. I melted it off! No! Rookie error! No! I burnt it off. So, I had ground out the crack and I was forging on it. It was perfect, it was solid. I was getting ready to start working back here and I burnt the tip of this off. Rats. Oh no, again, Will? No! Is it the same thumb?
Yes, it is.
Do you not like that thumb? How did that happen?
One of my top 2 favorite thumbs.
Oh, the same thumb. Oh, that stuff is so painful when that happens. Rookie error number 2. So this is where my error came in. I had a piece of steel that looked a little bit like this. I'd forged out these tines, fantastic, perfect. They were looking beautiful, they were ready to go. All I needed to do was come back here and draw down this section. Trouble is, I'm working in a gas forge. One of the downsides of a gas forge is getting a small heating area. Not so easy, the chamber in there is gigantic. So, I stuck this piece of metal in the fire long enough for this area here to get hot, which means invariably our thin sections here are getting extremely hot, are oxidizing a lot, and melting off. What I should have done is this. I should have kept these tines just a little bit thicker, then proceeded to heat up this area here and forge that down. Because it would have then required very minimal forging to get those tines down to their final length, and I would have been able to do this without heating up this thin area, and it would have been the order of operations that would have most likely yielded success. Unfortunately, being smart after the fact means absolutely nothing. Let's get back to the fire and try and be smart during the next one. Here we go. It's stainless Damascus steel and we've only gone and forged a fork from it. So everybody knows. I'm leaving these a little further open and everything thicker than it's gonna be at the end. We're gonna do a lot of grinding on this. Yeah. I wanted to leave it thick enough that we can do lots of grinding and get it exactly where we want it with the grinder because it needs to be etched. And I don't trust the very outside of it after forging on it. So, the last thing to do on this fork in the forge is to draw down a little hidden tang section. And so we're gonna go back in the fire, and the aim is just from this little inch of material, because there's a crack here, from this inch of material to forge a very small hidden tang. I just hope we can find it once it's been hidden. That is one as forged stainless steel Damascus turkey carving fork, ready for grinding. Well, I've been working on this. Will returned from the dead, though missing 1/8 of an inch of his thumb. That's looking nice.
I'm gonna go draw myself up a little knife. You nervous, Will? Yes. Go, 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 go! Still solid. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. we needed not to have happen. Burnt the end off of that. This stuff is very fussy. Totally lost its integrity. This stuff has a very temperature-sensitive forging range, it would appear. I guess you can't forge it too much above 2300 degrees, otherwise it's gonna do that. Okay, we definitely would have had enough material. I'm skeptical if we do now or not. There. I'm gonna forge in the tip, do a little bit of shaping, then we'll call it good. It doesn't like that.
Will's making amazing progress on the knife. Before he goes any further on that, though, we do need some muriatic acid, so we're gonna have to run and get that. Meanwhile, I want to show you some progress that we've been making on the warehouse next door. The warehouse is looking hugely different. This is pretty exciting. We recently got approved as a 3M distributor, which is just a really great blessing. And it means that we can sell our favorite products, because 3M makes a ton of awesome stuff. We have shells with hammers wrapped in rust-inhibiting paper, ready to go. We've got pallets of motors wired to variable frequency drives, and we have our first little kind of packing shelf station. We're trying our best to think hard about how we can minimize the footsteps that whoever is doing packaging is gonna need to make so that we can be as efficient as possible and do as good of a job as possible. And it is a great journey so far, and hopefully 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it all pays off. We've got some great products. It's just about whether we got the people that want to get them. This was filmed in the run-up to our launch of all the new products, the grinders, the abrasives, the hammers, all of that fun stuff. It was unbelievably successful, and we are hugely grateful for all of your business. We are doing a restock on Cyber Monday, December the 2nd, so stay tuned then, and follow us on the Alec Steele Co. page so that you can get updates as to exactly what time you gotta be there, and see some more of the behind-the-scenes stuff of us packing stuff and shipping stuff. We're already underway shipping out the first order, which is thrillingly exciting. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all our new customers. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.